们，大家好，我是凌云，欢迎收看澳洲广角。众所周知，澳大利亚是一个年轻、美丽、包容多元文化的国家，但在这片古老的土地上呢，它的原住民依旧保持着祖先遗留下来的习俗和文化。今天呢，我首先介绍给您的是生活在澳大利亚南部海岸线上的一个土著部落的故事，然后呢，一起去看一看如何才能够做出美味的意大利面。 澳大利亚这片充满了神秘色彩的土地上，有许许多多的土著部落，他们传承着各自的文化和习俗。在南部的海岸线上呢，有一个叫做莫宁族的部落，他们可以通过声音、唱歌和舞蹈，与海洋中的庞然大物鲸鱼对话。这是他们的祖先几千年来承传下来的一种古老的习俗。但是呢，在1956年，澳洲政府宣布他们不复存在。 而在这一宣布的40年之后呢，这个古老的土著部落出现在南澳的海边，向人们展示了这一习俗，呼吁人们回归自然，善待所有的生灵。
莫宁族又被称为寻鲸部落，起源于南澳海岸线上名为莫纳谷的地方。班纳曾在一部叫做《寻鲸追梦》的电影中担任重要角色。这部由音乐家朱利安·列侬制作。 Kim 导演的影片描写了莫宁人以及他们重返寻鲸的追梦之路。自古以来，鲸鱼就在不断的迁徙。这个故事讲述了一个已经被宣告消失的土族部落又回到了故乡。 他们运用自己古老的文明中的智慧，通过声音、歌唱和舞蹈和鲸鱼沟通。这是非常古老的传统。
We can read the signs and listen. That's what our learning means. It means listen, learn, and understanding words of wisdom. That's what the name of our tribe means, learning, listen. So if we listen carefully to the Mirinja of Eula, when I say Eula, Eula is the earth. The whole earth, and of the Yugana, the sound of creation. Yugana is the creation from the beginning. We'll be able to teach you, you'll be able to learn too. Every movement, every sound of what this earth is all about.
班纳劳瑞是一位寻鲸者，他向大海歌唱。班纳讲述了倾听的重要性。 以及声音是如何通过各种方式使我们和宇宙中的万事万物沟通。我们如何能更多地理解和尊重所有的生灵
We sing together and share that fruit we see, and we share that experience of share that song, and experiencing that song together. It's one of the most beautiful feeling of all. When you sing it with a whale. Share that sound, that Mirinja sound. It's the most beautiful thing.
Kim 讲述了他的故事，以及一只海豚是如何彻底改变了他的生活。
I was travelling around Ireland actually to see my relatives and to go to places in the west coast that my family lived in for centuries. And I stopped off at this fishing village called Dingle Bay, which is a beautiful place. And I heard that there was a dolphin playing in the bay, so I went out with a fisherman early in the morning, really out of curiosity. But the actual experience was just mind-blowing. I mean, it's like any epiphany. You're not going, all right, on Tuesday I'm going to have an epiphany. It just happens to you. And, you know, getting in the water with a wild dolphin and connecting with a wild dolphin was the most extraordinary experience of my life. It was just so beautiful. Well, I suddenly realised I was more than my body. You know, before I felt that, you know, you're taught that you know your belief system and what you're doing in the world. And when I swam with that dolphin, I realised that I was actually connected to all life, everything. That this body is just merely a vessel for something much, much bigger.
在与海豚相遇之后 ，Kim 成为了一个电影制片人，并制作了3部影片：《海豚的天赋》。海豚的故事和海豚。 影片《寻经追梦》是在 Kim 被莫宁族邀请到他们的部落后制作的。不久，朱利安·列侬来到澳大利亚，他是摇滚乐之父约翰·列侬的儿子。当莫宁人送给他一根白羽毛作为礼物时，一切都改变了。30年前，父亲告诉他，如果我发生了什么事，你就去寻找一根白色的羽毛，然后你就会知道我一直在那里寻找你。
When I was on tour in Australia, I met one of the tribes out there, the Mirning people, and I learnt of their plight and their story, and how it related to so many other tribes across the world. And I just felt it was extremely important in this day and age to try to reconnect with our past, with all the different cultures that can give us a great deal of wealth and understanding about this planet that we live on.
基于 Kim 的传奇体验以及他与朱利安·列侬的相识，这部电影的制作得到了确定。朱利安是音乐家，他为影片《寻经追梦》特别录制了正在全球热卖的他的音乐大碟《海水》。海水的收入将全部捐赠给绿色和平组织的海洋项目。澳大利亚著名影星杰克·汤姆森为这部电影做旁白，他说：“这部电影揭示了我们的精神层面。”
In September 1998, on a remote cliff top in southern Australia, 85 Indigenous elders and others from around the globe came together to share their traditions and spirituality.
Because all things are connected.
Their hopes and dreams for a better world.
他们在一起交流，一起跳舞和歌唱，试图以此与鲸鱼沟通。但是鲸鱼一直没有出现，长者们有些悲哀。突然，一条幼小的鲸鱼出现在附近的海面，它代表其他鲸鱼前来回应人类的呼唤。这是一件非常不同寻常的事，因为很少有这么年幼的鲸鱼会出现在这里的海岸。这次聚会宣告了寻经者的回归。5年之后，这部电影完成了。
For me, anyway, it was like, what was the point of it all? And you do something so monumental like that, like gather all these people from all around the world. And for me, it was like, well, why did we go to all that effort? What was the, I wanted it to be something that had meaning and would change the world. Our obsession with oil and all the rest of it. In the meantime, people like Bunner and his people are doing something which is much more ancient and more beautiful. It's not really about me or Bunner or anyone really. It's about us all together and it's working through us.
Kim 说，已经有迹象在警告人类了。他提到切罗基族的预言，还有为什么土著文化关心地球的生存和它的生物。
The Danila Wega, which is the time of the great coming together, given to me or told to me by grandmother Patricia Diazis, who works with Dahani Yawu, who's a Cherokee firekeeper, and a very, very beautiful idea that we're living in the time where actually we have to come together. And yet, of course, in the paradigm that we live, we have opposition and American politics, the absurdity of instead of all coming together and sitting in a circle, Danila Wega, the time of the coming together, to actually collectively resolve issues and find out what the next best step is for all of us to take together, we still have these sort of opposing views and ways of doing politics. And it's, I think that it's one of the things that they talk on in this prophecy, that system will break down because we will have to start working together if there is to be a future.
白鲸的出现对于土著族人来说意义非常重大，因为这是在他们流传数千年的预言中有提到的。
Yeah, the white whale there's 3 white whales. There's just been another one born on the west coast. We have Migaloo, and then there's a 3rd one who's going up and down the east coast. So they're very strong, these signs, and also like the white buffalo, there's many of them, and they're appearing with more regularity. It's very clear to indigenous people that this is we are in the end times, and it's are we going to wake up in time?
经常有鲸鱼集体上岸自杀的现象，而没有人知道原因。海洋噪声的污染对鲸鱼来说是一个很严重的问题，对我们来说也是一个很严重的问题，因为现在发生的事情终将发生在我们自己身上。班纳讲了他的见解。
Through our humanity, through our brothers and sisters, mankind's ignorance, I guess you can say clumsiness, recklessness, that our carelessness, that we don't care about this earth anymore. It's about all the rubbish that we're putting into this earth, and all the pollution we're putting in this earth, and all the pollution we're putting in the sea. So the whales can taste that. Because they breathe. They taste water. Water goes in and out of their body, and they know. Anything like rubbish, plastics in and go down there, they can choke and die and drive through poison as well. There's a number of things. We've been careless, we've been reckless, we've been clumsy. And when whales breach and beach themselves like that, they're dying of our poison that we put into the sea, our poison that we put into the earth. So it's telling us that we are not doing the right thing.
Saltwater wells in my eyes.
意大利面是西餐品种中最接近于中国人饮食习惯，也是最容易被中国人接受的。关于它的起源呢，虽然是众说纷纭，但是对它的评价呢却是出奇的一致，那么就是好吃。现在呢，我们就去一家设立在悉尼的专门教大家做意大利面的学校，去学上一手，也好在假期的时候呢一展厨艺。
意大利面好吃。
在悉尼丰富多彩的多元文化饮食中，意大利饮食占据了重要的一席之地。各种不同风味的意大利餐馆与食品遍布悉尼，而意大利面则是人们最为喜爱和熟悉的一种。最有名的品牌要数 Barilla 了，中国人把它译作百味来。距悉尼市中心不远的 Annandale 区，有一家专门教授如何烹制百味来意大利面的学校。走进百味来烹饪学校，如同进入一个百味来的大观园，不同种类、不同风味的食品琳琅满目。中文译名百味来倒是一个形象贴切的名字。这里的名厨 Luke 说，百味来公司有130多年的历史了，现在是这个家族企业的第4代。公司在全球的员工已有2万多人。百味来意大利面的高质量造就了它长久的生命力。今天我们就请 Luke 教我们几手怎样煮美味的意大利面。
那么今天Luke 先教我们做这个意大利面。这个面呢是有点像小耳朵的形状，那它的好处，它可以，你看它这个形状，它可以吸收很多的这个汁的这个美味。好，我们开始。
We're gonna have some cherry tomatoes in it, a little bit of spring onions, a little bit of celery for the crunch, just give a fantastic texture to it. And just to go and balance a little bit of the sweetness of the tomato, we got a little bit of bitterness coming from the rocket. And then we're going to finish it off with a beautiful dry salted ricotta. This is a ricotta cheese, but it's been dried, so the saltiness has increased a fair bit. And we're just going to grate that just at the end on top of it, okay? So orecchiette takes quite a little bit to cook, about 10 to 12 minutes. So first things, and very important, a good pinch of salt when we cook our pasta all the time.
Yeah, I want to ask why we need to add salt. Because we know sometimes the other pasta need to add oil too, but why we need to add salt?
It's a must. The pasta cooks by absorption, as we all know, so when the pasta absorbs the liquid, it needs to absorb a little bit of salt as well, and that will enhance the flavor of the pasta, okay? Too much salt, pasta is not good enough. Not enough salt, still pasta is not good enough, okay? So you need to have just the right amount of salt. We're talking about 10 grams to a liter, just to be very technical about it, but I still like not for anybody at home to go and measure it. Just, I usually stick my finger without burning and just try in the water, or you can get a spoon or whatever, but you really want to make sure that you got the right amount of salt in it, okay? It's very important, guys. All right?
盐在水里煮上2分钟后，我们就可以把面下到锅里了。锅里要有足够的沸水，一般是1升水可以下100克的面。面下锅以后要不时的搅拌，以确保它们不会粘在一起。要注意的一点是，水里不需要加油。如果给水里加入油，面会在油里溶解一部分， 当给面里浇佐料汁时，佐料汁会和面分开，而不是和面融在一起，面也就不能很好的吸收佐料汁的味道了。好，现在开始准备佐料菜。
All I'm doing, I'm gonna slice up a little bit of spring onions. Okay, you can go with as much as you like. Very finely sliced. Go straight into the bowl. Okay. We get our celery. Same thing. We're gonna slice it fairly thin. This is just gonna give extra moistures and a little bit of crunch to the dish. Okay. Like I said, it's a warm pasta salad, so this will come good as a good contrast to the heat. Okay. So that will do as well. Okay. Now we're just gonna start with the cherry tomatoes. Now, when you do this dish, you really want to make sure that your tomatoes are nice and ripe and beautiful. Again, we're not going to cook the sauce, so you really want to start with the raw first ingredient, the best quality and as ripe as they can get. So you're going to get the best result out of it. Okay. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to quarter them. Okay. To be honest, you can quarter them, you can half them, you can do whatever you want. Okay, up to you.
切好后，把佐料菜放入盆里，再放些橄榄油、盐、胡椒粉，把它们一起搅拌。如果时间允许的话，最好提前1-2个小时把它们先准备好，这样各种味儿能很好的融合在一起，也就可以用来做出更好美味的菜了。
Now, I'm gonna start blending all of this together. You can smell the beautiful extra virgin, can't you? See how nice and strong that is? Okay, so also the salt is very important because the salt will get the moistures out of the tomato, so we're going to get flavors and the extra moistures and juices out of the tomato to blend in with the actual extra virgin. Okay, while this is sitting here, I'm going to start putting basil, fresh basil, fundamental in Italian cooking. If we could, probably we'll put it in our...
Do you plant it in the garden or?
Yeah, everywhere. Basil straight in. Okay, and this again gets to be mixed up. So while all of this is happening though, let's not forget about the pasta. So we always, probably we cooked it for about 5 minutes by now. We need to cook it for at least 10, if not even 12. Now with the rocket, all I want to do is just roughly chop it. And we're going to add this in just last minute. Okay, otherwise the heat from the pasta we're just going to destroy it. So we just want to gently let it wilt inside. So as you can see, the color of the oil has definitely changed already. That means that all the beautiful juices from the tomato are coming out, okay? All the flavors are increasing and infusing together. If you would have done this the night before, you just imagine how strong the flavor would be, which is fantastic.
现在万事俱备，我们只需要耐心等待面煮好了。
How do you know it's cooked?
Well, I can feel it with my finger. It's still quite hard, as it is. Just feel it. It is still quite hard, isn't it? But just to be more technical about it, we can just simply cut it in now. You can do this with any kind of pasta, okay?
Oh, you have the rolls.
Yes, you can actually see that the middle is still a little bit too white, okay? So good quality pasta will always retain a little bit of his soul. This you can say that it's the soul of the pasta, and once you bite it through, then when you feel the al dente bite, is because some of it still will be retained within the pasta, and this is exactly what we're looking for, okay? But now it's a little bit too early for it, okay?
百味来重视质量，高品质的小麦意味着高质量的麦麸，由此可以防止在烹饪过程中渗透过多的淀粉，使面条粘锅。面熟之后不会粘，可以保持原形，并且有嚼头，口感好。
As you see how nice and clear it stays, okay? This is basically telling you that most of the starch is being retained within the pasta rather than come out, which is kind of an important part of it.
现在擦一些干酪末以备后用。面好了，现在让我们把面捞到做好的佐料里面。捞时可以带一些面汤，可以使面保持更好及松散一些。
So go straight in.
So you don't need to use the cold water to drain it?
Oh, no, never. We don't want to wash our pasta. That's quite important. We just want to allow the pasta, all of this beautiful starch that stays on the outside of the pasta has to stay there. That's what's going to trap all the beautiful sauce. If you're going to wash it away, you lose nutrition, flavor, and also the starch that allows the sauce to stay with it. Okay, so that's quite a very good tip to not to wash your pasta.
因为余热，面捞出来后还在继续加热，所以不要煮过了。一般煮12分钟的面，10分钟就得捞出来，让它们与佐料菜搅匀以后放在那里，让面在余热中持续2分钟，同时让面吸收佐料汁。
Okay, now that it's not too hot anymore, okay, it's the right time to start adding the rocket. Okay. So this is going to give a little bit of extra color as well. Okay.
Oh, I can smell it.
Beautiful. A little bit of the ricotta sauce, like I said.
1 spoon.
Yeah, I would say one, maybe a little bit more. 1.5.
Stir.
Yeah, please. Toss it all nicely. Bind everything together. Just like Italy.
Oh, I learned something.
Excellent.
Hold on. La pasta è buonissima.
Bravissima. Bravo. Now, most of the ricotta, I'm going to save just a little bit.
For decoration.
Yeah. Okay, as you guys can all see, you see how all the beautiful juices, they're being absorbed, okay? Because the pasta was still very much thirsty or something to suck on from, okay? So that's beautiful. So that's it, ready to plate out. I'm just going to get the beautiful plate, and I think you're going to be my guinea pig. You're going to try and give me your feedback straight away. Okay?
高质量的百味来在面熟之后，面也不粘连，还可以保持其原有的外形。最后再加一点调料：干酪末、胡椒、橄榄油。
Okay. Because I love extra virgin olive oil, just an extra drizzle, of course. Okay. And there you go. And you got your orecchiette alla pugliese. Mangia.
每一份摆上餐桌的百味来面，看上去都是一套精美的艺术品。
观众朋友们，这次澳洲广角节目就到这里了，感谢您的收看，我们下次节目时间再会。